solo disruptor. He was super popular. You go back to the Manila Major, he was picked almost every game in that tournament. In this tournament, he's not seeing as much play. But again, we're only here in day 2, so the meta could change rather quickly, LD, with who picks what and what supports are popular.
Yeah, it can. Disruptor, I think where he really excels is when you have good vision. Like we saw the Slardar Disruptor combo was super popular for a while. They don't have that vision here yet. 2 picks to go though, and I guess Replicate is okay for scouting, but OG grabbed the Death Prophet. So it gives them something that can take objectives. That's the big thing for me. Naga is great at killing off creep waves and controlling the map, but doesn't really take towers or Roshan very quickly.
Well, that's the thing. They wanted somebody like, they picked Miracle, the Tiny yesterday, because they wanted someone that could, number 1, gank, and number 2, take towers. Obviously, he got off to a very slow start in that game where they played against Alliance, so it was game number 2. But the Death Prophet is sort of similar to that. You can't maybe solo gank as heavily as you could with, obviously, a Tiny, but they have to go up against the Invoker, the classic matchup. Wings going with the Invoker up against the Death Prophet in the mid lane, more than likely played by Miracle. We'll wait and see how this does pan out. I do like the Invoker as it adds damage with the Face's Void, Sunstrike inside the Chronosphere, not to mention everything else at your disposal if you go for Quas or Quaswex.
Yeah, that's 3 quite greedy cores though, and a Disruptor who does need a lot of levels.
Yes,
so
that's very true.
It's definitely something that can be punished if OG want to up the tempo, but you've already seen a Naga, so you know it's not going to be that fast of a pace. And Death Prophet's ultimate is a long cooldown, so it might be a bit of a slower game, but if Waynes are just sitting back and farming that tri-core, pending this last pick, I think they feel pretty good about their own late game.
I feel like Moon is one of those players that is capable of going into a pretty speedy type of play style with this Batrider. A lot of people think that you have to wait till you get your Blink Dagger and then maybe you get your Lasso at level 6. But what he does is he gets that Firefly, gets a couple of other points before getting his Lasso at maybe 8 through 10. Anywhere in that situation, he gets his Tranquil Boots into the drums, and then he just starts running at people with his Firefly and Sticky Napalm, and he actually does a lot of work. He's able to get solo kills. He's able to find pickoffs left, right, and center. So if Moon is able to play that fast tempo, he can maybe punish some of these heroes, even without Lasso. They might just need the help of the line with some lockdown or a silence from Death Prophet. So I think that they can play a little more up-tempo, but with the Naga Siren, obviously, and the Death Prophet, it'll take some time for those 2 heroes to get situated. As we do get the Shadow Demon ban coming out from OG, very good ban, very solid. Make sure you get that away. I was wondering if there was a Mirana ban. It was first 2, so thank God for that. All right, good.
Yeah, Mirana won pretty much all her games yesterday, so don't expect to see too much of her today, unless you have some very targeted bans at a particular team style. Shadow Demon with Morphling, you have the Disruption to help with the siege for the Morphling illusions. Also, you can replicate the Disruption illusion, so you can get that Morphling replicate to move around the map. It's not a big surprise.
Ooh.
I like this ban, though. Removing the Riki. OG,
that's crit hero.
You mentioned, they could still be looking for a crit hero. I think Riki's probably the one he's had the highest impact on.
Yeah, I think so.
Overall, Earth Spirit is a hero that he likes to run. Is it really a good Earth Spirit game, though?
Whoa.
No. So it is support Naga.
Yeah, because we discussed this yesterday, thinking that it might be the case, but we kind of, shoot it, I think, at one point in time. But Crit playing the Naga Siren in this game is very interesting. They switch gears immediately. Naga, obviously, pretty strong in split pushing and obviously taking the game late, but Miracle on the anti-mage, he has a very good impact early on, like maybe 15 to 20 minutes in is when he's hoping to start, have at least some sort of relevance.
I mean, the Wings draft definitely looks a bit greedy with the Doom pick as well. Like, you've got 2 supports that really need levels, 3 cores that need a ton of farm. Void can get away with a bit less, but still in general, they need a lot. As I say that, though, Ice picking up the Morphling. Is this a support lane?
This is interesting. Maybe
are we going to see the old swapperoo, or is it an off-lane Doom and a support Morphling?
Beyond Doom. Yeah, that's what I'm interested to see how they link.
All right. Are we going to get a curveball here from Waynes? I mean, is a curveball from Waynes, or is not getting a curveball the real curveball?
I think, yeah, that might be it.
That might be the real curveball.
We're going in so meta and so deep.
What's our support? All right. It's the Windlace Morphling mod. It's happening.
What's going on? Yeah, it's just support support link, as you said, I'm not sure. I mean, like, we were surprised to see the crit Naga Siren. Now there's an Ice Ice Morphling coming out. We have no idea how this is going to shape up, how these lanes are going to set up, who's going to go where just yet. We do see some wars coming out early on here as we get some player intros, and there's that man, Miracle the 9K legend himself on the anti-mage, and one of his best heroes for sure. And of course, Moon on the Bat Rider, obviously having a very good day one.
This was Miracle's OG hero when he just started playing pro. Like, this was his original hero that was winning games for the team back when they were a true 4 Protect 1 team. No-Tail would play often Bat Rider mid, very, farm independent heroes. Moon would play a tempo controller, and they would just... That was when the meme was born, when it was, oh, Miracle, it's like a pub game for Miracle. He's used to carrying 4 guys who are running around feeding and creating space for him. So this OG environment, it's perfect for the young gun.
Sure, they're going to have some
and this
fun
is
with it too.
Kind of a throwback, but it is a different overall draft. They have a more core, farm-intensive core in the Death Prophet, and they have some other heroes that do scale quite well in the Naga, the Lion, and the Bat Rider.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we used to see that Naga build where it was more utility than anything else, and it was AUI 2000 often playing it back at like TI, we'll call it last year, I guess, TI5, and what he was doing with it. I think maybe a bit earlier, actually, but we'll see how things do pan out for this Naga Siren and for the rest of OG as well as Wings. It's going to be Blink picking up that bounty rune in the top rune spot, and of course down bottom they're going to give it to the anti-mage, actually, so they want to get him off to a fast start as fast as possible, and No-Tail will just have to block for himself, going with the Null Tally, Fairy Fire, double Tango, and Iron Branch, whereas the Invoker, same build, same thing. So this is one of the most interesting matchups to me in this game right now, is going to be this mid matchup, and I don't think we'll see any kills unless there's rotations, but that could happen very quickly.
So Ice has 25 recorded games in Morphling. Now, you might think that's a decent number, but he's got 250 Rubik games for a point of comparison.
Yeah.
He has not played the hero in 9 months.
9 months.
At least not in a recorded match.
That's like right around the time where Morphling offlane and Morphling support were like actually things that could sort of work.
And if this were any team but Wings, I'd say what the hell, but bottom lane, they're making their move on Faith Beyond up against the tri-lane.
He's going to make it out. I mean, he had his Scorched Earth. No, he actually hasn't skilled anything yet, and he will go for the Devour. It's a lane creep, so it's not going to help him get anything. Fly's ready to go again. He's got his Earth Spike ready, and they're going to jump in. That's First Blood going the way of crit, and it's just that easy. Fly walks up, Earth Spike, there's a Riptide, armor reduction. It helps get crit on the board.
So a good kill there. Looking at the other lanes, No-Tail playing the Death Prophet mid against Invoker. No help from either team's supports for now. Should be a pretty good matchup for the Death Prophet with the irritant that is the Spirit Siphon. Very difficult playing against this. You can already see Blink dropping extremely low in the lane. Just be careful not to get a self canceled.
Yeah, he was very close to getting it canceled and still is.
And then for the Moon Bat Rider, I'm not sure how the Morphling factors in. Hasn't skilled anything yet, but just a Disruptor Void has a lot of irritant potential and some kill potential if the Bat Rider screws up. So I think this tri-lane probably can kill him, but
I mean, right now they're doing a very good job.
I haven't seen the Morphling tri-lane before.
That's right. I mean, that's the thing. We haven't seen it too much. I mean, do you go waveform first? Do you get strength and then adaptive strike?
Stats.
How exactly?
You get stats.
Yeah. Oh god, if you get stats, I'm pretty sure that's just, I don't like Dota anymore if that happens.
I might not either. It's okay.
Ice gets a haste rune. We'll give a couple of right clicks to Moon, who's trying to contest. Moon unsuccessful in getting a lot of CS so far. He's only at 2 right now with, of course, 1 to 9. He's heading towards that jungle, but he's actually out of mana, so this is not a great start. And we're so used to seeing Moon have a great start in Bat Rider that I think it's just kind of... It's a little interesting to see how he's going to get back into this game. Every other lane is doing well, but that's a particular matchup that's not going well for him.
He's level 2.5. It's not that bad. He did blow all his mana, but he's going to buy the TP. And the thing is, these supports need a lot of levels. And in the case of Morphling, like you need, I assume he's probably going to go for the strength build and just be going for the really long duration stun adaptive strikes, but you need quite a bit of mana to support that, which means you need to get the old build was like Tranquil Soul Ring, with a Blink Dagger. I'm not sure.
There was a Eul Scepter in there at some point in time, I believe.
Yeah, the Eul's comes out usually after that, and obviously the Windlace can be built into that eventually. But regardless of what it is, it's a lot of farm. So I think Moon staying up top, occupying these supports is definitely a win. Already, the Doombrainer of Faith Beyond has kind of given up on the bottom lane, moving around a bit now. So I think overall, as far as offlanes go, I would actually give the edge to OG.
He's looking to run, and he does have crit. He is the Alpha Wolf, and now there's the Cold Snap coming through, but actually not taking that much damage. Earth Spike, No-Tail with the Spirit Siphon. I don't think they can turn this on Faith Beyond. He does have the Scorched Earth, although maybe with the Spirit Siphon, they need another Crypt Scroll coming through. There's the Ensnare as well, and that is the kill. No-Tail gets it done. Blink will back away. I thought that was going to be a tanky Doom, but unfortunately for him, he goes down very quickly with the help
top lane,
of
moving on Moon now.
Back. Kinetic Field as well. Waveform is there, and Moon should fall. It'll be a 1-for-1 exchange across the map. Both offlaners going down, kind of mirroring each other. Very interesting, but...
Okay. Yeah, both offlaners go down, but the kill in the mid lane does go to No-Tail. So giving that Death Prophet a really strong start. 17-7 now. She's already winning the matchup against Blink, who is forced to go for an extra salve there. So he's already chewed through a couple. Definitely struggling as far as regen goes. I think this lane is a bit favorable right now for OG, especially with that kill. So I would give OG a slight edge overall with that.
Yeah, I think so as well. And we'll wait and see how things turn out. 18 last hits to 14 for the Invoker. By the way, bottom lane, and there's some great farm for Miracle. With top lane as well, you can see it. 26 last hits coming out for Shadow on this Faceless Void.
They're smoking. They want Blink. They're going to back out. It looks like he does not see it coming.
Ensnared and Riptide. Now, he does have Infused Raindrop, but he has TP rotation coming in. Red Spike will hit, and they will bring him down. Kinetic Field is not there in time. And Innocence does take a fair bit of damage. Here comes Faith Beyond. He has a double damage rune that comes back to come through. No-Tail Spirit Siphon. He really wants this kill. Crit will end up going down, but it's going to be a trade, and No-Tail takes up the double LD.
You guys forgot what a great spell Spirit Siphon is.
Yeah, that's
not as strong as it used to be. No longer pure damage, but still very strong. Nice kill there. And a Miracle being uncontested. Moon is going to retreat to the jungle here, so we see Doom and Batrider both essentially banning their lanes. And right as I say that, Faith Beyond, he will come back bottom, but realistically, this isn't a lane he can do much in. At this point, Miracle has treads, has the poor man shield, he's in good shape.
Going to rotate the Ice Morphling down towards mid. He does have Boots of Speed. Again, you talked about mana issues. One of those mana issues will be, I think, a little bit easier with, of course, Infused Raindrop. Although it's not the most mana regeneration in the world, you know, it's not that immediate mana regeneration that you get from the Soul Ring. It's still something nice to have. And obviously, with the Infused Raindrops, you'll be able to stay alive a little bit longer in these team fights. So we'll see how things transition as there's a couple of wards placed down by Fly on the river.
Curious what the build for Shadow will be on the Void. Have you seen him play it before? Do you know what he normally likes to do?
I feel like I've seen it, but I can't remember off the top of my head. As bottom lane, I think they're looking for a Mana Void. His Faith Beyond is completely out of it pretty much. And Miracle, he decided not to dive even with the armor that he's got and the agility treads and the poor man shield. He's not going to go for it, so. All right. Pretty good start for this early game for OG. I mean, there's two safe players essentially getting free farm, but who do you favor in a, you know, if two safe players are getting free farm, who do you favor, the Faceless Ward or the Anti-Mage in the situation, LD?
It really depends on the overall game plan. Like, if it's just in terms of who's going to outfarm the other, Anti-Mage will always win that battle, assuming he goes Battle Fury build, which I highly expect Miracle to do.
Yeah.
Even if Void wants to go for his own Battle Fury, which we saw in one of the games yesterday, I believe, or if he goes for that Vanguard Radiance build, well, a bit less likely with the 4-man shield, but even if he goes farming build, he's not going to win like a straight farm war, but he does bring more pick-off potential, more team fight control, so I think it more comes down to the overall game plans for the teams here. For me, looking at the Wayne's draft, you're running a Quas Exort Invoker mid, and you have a Void. You want to be finding kills with that combo, potentially the Disruptor also being a part of it, so I think Wings are the lineup in the mid game that are more interested in ganking the AM, whereas the AM just wants to be split pushing, so it'll be a very different approach and style. As OG smoked up top.
Looking for an initiation. They have the Firefly ready. There's the Hex up. Earth Spike will come next. Shadow Silence as well. Good after the strike. Firefly. They don't have blast, so he's going to time walk away. No Silence was there. It was already on cooldown. And that might be the end of it, but will they dive, LD?
Oh, he's got a level 4 time walk. They cannot chase this. And the Exorcism committed very early here, but it's not when the creep wave is in position. In fact, creep's getting dragged to the side. That's big win, while bottom lane, they're making a move here on the Anti-Mage. They good Miracle back.
He's going to be in trouble. There's the Chronosphere coming out. The Kinetic Field on top of that as well. Thunder Strike, some good right click. He's got the ability to blink away in 1 second. The time walk, of course, is doing some using time dilation, actually making it so that he can't blink away. It was on cooldown for 2 seconds, and it kept staying on cooldown. And Shadow will end up getting the kill, and it's a huge kill, a very important kill. Sure, they might lose their Q1 tower top lane. And the Cold Snap comes through. Crit's in trouble. Sunstrike, Crit will dodge it nicely. He's got the stick charge, he'll use it. He's going to pick up the bounty root, and that will be the end of the chase. As Blink realizes that without the Sunstrike, probably won't be able to get this kill.
Yeah, so this is definitely a tough AM game. Chrono really counters AM quite well for the majority of the game, unless he sees the Void coming. If you catch him in the Chrono, he's in a lot of trouble. Doom is probably the bane of an anti-mage's existence, and as we just saw there, time dilation, very annoying for anti-mages to deal with, as he's quite reliant on moving around in the fights with Blink. On top of that, you have Glimpse, so until you get a BKB, unless you have that godly, you know, what is it, like less than a tenth of a second timing on the Manta, you're not going to be able to dodge it. So it's a difficult AM game. They have some good defensive support play potentially in the Naga Siren Song to reset the fights, but as we can see there, it's going to be a tough game. I really like that play though from Shadow. As soon as he gets ganked top, he sees the Death Prophet ult used, he sees the Lion in the top lane, and then Miracle goes in bottom. He knows he can rotate, so really nice TP. They combo it with the Glimpse. That's a very unexpected play, I think, for Miracle, and the rate at which Wings pulled it off caught him off guard.
Yeah, absolutely. Bringing down Miracle early on in the game, especially before he gets his Battle Fury, is very good. Still, he's above the Faceless Void in net worth. You expect that, but that's before the Battle Fury comes out. And the Void is going to start off going for Treads and what seems to be a Yasha at this point in time. He has the Blade of Alacrity, he has the Band of Elven Skin. It's a very interesting choice, the Yasha coming out. And then maybe not the strangest choice. We've seen a lot of Mantas into Diffusal type builds for Voids recently, and it seems to be more and more popular as we move forward here, LD.
Yeah, it's probably the most cost-effective damage build while you're in the Chrono. And it also gives you quite a bit of utility. The attack speed really helps Void. A lot of agility from those two items for a reasonable cost, so we'll see if he wants to commit fully to it. Even a casual Yasha is a great pickup. He can change up the build from there, as his Void's just a pretty flexible carry in general, so you don't have to go too much. But mid lane, they find No-Tail.
That's going to be the Sunstrike with the Chronosphere connected. You'll just make sure No-Tail stays right where he is, but the Chronosphere ends, and he's dead before it goes down. It's a killing spree ended by Shadow, who has now gotten 2 successful Chronospheres on 2 big cores. I mean, they're huge.
The 2 biggest heroes in the game to be killing for Wings. And I said they have a defensive support to some extent in Naga, but the thing is, A, she doesn't have Sonya, and B, it's a really long cooldown mod until she gets to level 3 ult. So this is a weakness of the OG draft. You're up against Chronosphere. I mentioned it during the draft. They didn't go for Ben. They didn't go for Dazzle. They didn't even go for something like an Oracle or an Abaddon who gives you some defensive utility. It's a very long cooldown way to deal with the Chrono. So Wings feel confident that pretty much every time this thing is up, they can go and find a kill.
They have status from now as well for Innocence, and they're wrapping around with the Smoke of Deceit gank. And Moon might be first contact here. He's a little bit out of position. He's going to run away. He's 1,800 gold, and he's gone for that early lasso. So forget what I talked about with Drum. Meanwhile, it's Miracle that walks into the crew. They have Static Storm ready to go. Are they going to use it? Do they even need it? He has Blink away in 2 seconds, but he can't get it off. As Ice will find the thing away for
dilation doing work. The other thing that is really good against AM, in addition to everything else they already have, is we might see Blink die mid lane. It's the Morphblade Adaptive Strike. It's a really long duration stun.
Static Storm, they up the sound, throwing a 2 ping, will bring 1 down. Shadow lasted up, they have the damage, good the bird. Time Walk's available, he gets the high ground, Spirit Siphon's still there. Crypt Storm and the Firefly. No-Tail will get it done, but it looks like Innocence wants to get more here. They're on the chase.
Oh, this is really good for OG if they're able to take the tower. And this time they use Exorcism, they used it with the creep wave under the tower. So not only do they get 2 core kills, Mott, they take an objective. This is how you want to be using Exorcism.
Yeah, that Exorcism finally successful in taking that in the tower. Death Prophet going for Treads, interestingly enough, and then picking up a Ring of Health as well. So itemization-wise, No-Tail not going for, let's say, that Veil of Discord, which was so popular on Death Prophet when she was picked up the past couple of months. But we'll see what he decides to build into, as Miracle's Anti-Mage has, I believe, the Claymore flying out. Just needs that Broadsword to get up to that Battle Fury, so he's getting close. And then dangerous game at that point, Wings, but they've done a really great job gang team. They're looking for it again. For the way from Adaptive Strike, Sunstrike on top of Miracle.
Wow! Stun duration is absurd.
That was sick.
When the offlane Morphlane was in his prime, you just Adaptive Strike, then you have some big damage on your dead. In mid lane now, Innocence getting caught out.
Torm is going to be at least, yeah, an easy kill there for No-Tail with the Spirit Siphon coming through. And Moon with the Firefly, with his newly minted Blink Dagger. This is, again, I don't want to make it sound like he always goes Drum, but it's kind of uncommon. I mean, I felt like yesterday we saw a lot.
I'm not sure the exact stats, but I'm pretty sure it's like 70-80% at least of the time Moon does go for the Drum. So it's a deviation. I think like I mentioned yesterday, he tends to go for more when he's the primary initiator. If they have another good hero like the Crit Earth Spirit that can start fights, then he's less likely to rush it, or if he doesn't feel pressured. But this is a game where he needs to be starting fights. You don't want to begin a fight with the Naga Song. There's not going to be a Blink on Fly for a little while yet, so it's a good adjustment. As I say that, though, Fly actually has 1,800 gold, so it'll be a pretty quick Blink.
TP's mid. They're going to try to go for Blink here as he's pushing up to the tower. They have the Blink last with Firefly, and there it is. They're going to pull him back as well. Earth Spike to follow up, and that Infused Ray Drop, I don't think will save him. No Ghost Block available. He could have invoked it, but he was under the tower anyways. It's just a nice pick off, and that's the Blink reveal coming out for that Batrider.
Yeah, spent his gold before going down, and has gotten to use the Midas. At least the Midas is on cooldown. The top rune now. Innocent caught out again. They're going to lose the Disruptor. No-Tail commits the Exorcism for this.
Interesting.
I expect Wayne, as soon as this Exorcism ends, to immediately try to take a fight with Chrono.
They need to. They'll be back up with those heroes in 18 seconds for the Disruptor, and of course 12 seconds for the Invoker, who does have his Midas. We should be talking that the Midas, of course, is going to help this Invoker a lot, and we've seen Invokers come back from worse, honestly.
They found Ice Ice. They're in deep, but somehow the little Morphlene's been caught out. He's very heavily straight Morph, and he should be able to get out. Now Shadow looking for the counter initiation. It's a Chrono just for Moon, but the Song is there to disengage, and Moon will blink out.
That duration of the Chronosphere ends. Great song. That's what they want to use to counter-initiate. That's their game plan, really, is if they get that Shadow Chrono off, they don't get the Naga Siren. And you're going to see that Song of the Siren come out immediately. And then at that point, you're just in a position where you can't really do damage. You can't find kills with Shadow. And that's a bit unfortunate. Maybe with a BKB, he could do a bit more, but I don't know if we want to go BKB. Static from bottom lane, Miracle. He walks out, comes back in Sunstrike pointed. TP's going to come through. They're looking for Bash, and he can't get it. No adaptive strike either, as I said, he's not in position to be able to stop that TP. Good play from Miracle.
Ice Ice is just saying it. I'll have my Aether Lens soon, Miracle. Yeah. You won't be so lucky next time, but does not have it yet on the Morphlane, so the range on the adaptive strike just a wee bit short. But it looks like that will be the build, Travis. Arcane Boots into an Aether Lens. I imagine Blink Dagger will be the next item pickup. We'll see for sure in a moment, but
I like it.
It gives you that extra catch range that you need. So, looking at the game from the big picture, they have a really good draft to punish, slow down the AM. Even when he doesn't die, we see Miracle is on the run constantly. He's still doing well as far as net worth goes, simply because he's so far ahead in CS, almost a 50 CS advantage. But the thing is, it's not a single core draft like for OG. They also have the Death Prop and No-Tail topping the net worth chart and is converting his ultimate into kills and the towers, now 4-1 and 3. So my question for Waynes is, can they also deal with the Death Prophet? Because at some point, he's going to be a big enough problem they start to attend to her, and then Miracle's going to have more free reign as they lose map control.
It looks like it's good for the defensive Blink and Spear build. As Moon is going to get the last one off the face beyond being swap back, and he needs to stay on top of that. They get the Crucial off. He's going to use his Fairy Fire, but it won't be enough, honestly. There's too much damage there. And the rest of his team is not responding. No TP's coming through. They're waiting bottom, looking for a potential pickoff. And that's just going to be a free kill, free tier 2 tower for pretty much nothing. I mean, Wings can't do anything to respond to this except split push both mid and bottom. And I don't think they'll get that tier 1 tower mid, although it's close to going down.
Yeah, their only really good split pushing hero is the Invoker, but Blink has been ganked and pressured so much that he's not even in a lane right now. Despite having just seen 4-5 OG heroes top, he's farming Ancients, doesn't even get close to taking this OG tier 1 mid, which generally at this point in the game, a Quas-Exort Invoker going this build would have done it, but it's actually not a Link, it's a Lotus Orb, so looking for a way to deal with the Morphling adaptive strike, I think, to some extent.
Yes.
You can counter the Doom and he'll Doom himself, but I think it's more just for purging off that stun than anything else.
Man, that is one hero just gone from the game now, that adaptive strike, as long as you have the Lotus Orb up and ready, which is not always the case for the Death Prophet. If you have that up, that Morphling doesn't become necessarily useless, but it certainly gets a lot harder for him to actually
That is assuming the DP's there and she's not the one getting focused.
Right.
So don't count Ice Ice entirely out yet, but I do like this item pickup as the Wings are very just single target pickoff driven, and being able to save a hero and give them a bit more time with a single target defensive utility item like this, it kind of makes up for not having a Dazzle, an Abaddon, a defensive support for Fly.
Seemingly out of nowhere, after those pickoffs that OG have gotten over the past couple of minutes, this game has started to slip out of control for Wings Gaming. 5,000 upwards of net worth advantage going the way of this OG Radiant squad, and 3,000 experience advantage as well. There will be a smoke from Wings, and they really need to get a good Chronosphere on top with some solid damage maybe from the Invoker. The Doom has yet to be used this game at all, LD, so I mean, they have to find something.
Wait, there's a Doom in this game?
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
He's got a Vlad at the very least, so yeah.
Yeah, he did not contest the AM very effectively in lane. His ganks on mid were an abysmal failure. We have not seen a Doom yet.
There we go.
But can Faith Beyond step it up now? OG appear to be ready for this.
Look at this smoke. Static Storm onto Doom coming through Kinetic Field. Only hits on the one, but they've got the Doom onto Moon. Moon's taking damage from the neutrals. And unless they can heal him up.
Oh, they do have the mech, though. They're able to keep him alive a bit longer, but there's the glitch.
Back. Moon's in trouble. Kinetic Field again. Can he deny himself? No such luck. Finally, Wayne's getting back on the board. Wait for him. No tail. Trouble. The adaptive strike keeps him stunned forever, LD, and he's going to fall as well.
Oh, a great fight there by Wings. Looks like, Miracle waiting on the back lines, but decides not to risk it. Blinks out. He's going to go farm and push out this top lane. OG kind of looked like they were ready to fight, but they were not expecting Wings to already be up the hill, and that was just the innocent show. Y played like an absolute god at the summit. His individual play was probably the pinnacle of Wayne's success in that series, along with Faith Beyond on the Spirit Breaker in Game 4. This time with the preemptive Static Storm, caught two of them entirely off guard, allows them to get the Doom off and start the fight their way. And then it was good follow-up from there. The Chronosphere dropped by Shadow, only on the Death Prophet, but it helps secure the kill on her as top lane. Miracle able to blink out, but they might hunt here.
He's got 2 seconds before his next blink, and he's eating his way through the tree line. And it looks like Blink has just given up.
Yeah, they don't have the Morphling in range, but once Ice, there comes a point where the Morphling has Blink, maybe Force Staff or BOTs, and its closing distance becomes insane. He's going to find Fly now.
Sunstrike on top with, of course, that adaptive strike damage. Then the Waveform gets himself almost a solo kill. Lasso up, though. They'll find Blink. He's out of mana. Mana Void. See you later. Miracle gets the kill. Finally, Miracle gets involved and gets his first kill of the game at 20 minutes. And this is the time where he's going to start being impressive here as we move towards this mid stage of the game, LD.
And that's the thing that we were just talking about. As you'll see the team fight break out again. Really great reactions by Innocence, playing from that 5 position role, and he makes the difference in this fight for the team, surely. But Moon dies, and the fight goes well from there. But this is, you have to focus on the other OG4 because they're so strong running around with the Batrider when the song's up and they have the Death Prophet Exorcism. Even when a couple of heroes die on OG, Miracle's able to go farm the top lane, then he starts finding kills with Mana Void. And despite how good their lineup is with dealing with him, he's still pulling ahead of Network.
Moon Chrono down bottom, he might be in trouble. He's got that Force Staff, needs to use an Adaptive Strike, and now he's dead for sure. They just can't deal with it. And that Adaptive Strike, if that Morphling is anywhere near.
But why he wants to go in, it's Innocent too quick for him.
And that Adaptive Strike pushes him out. The Sunstrike, however, will combo up, and that provides them the kill. It's 2 down and Wings. They're starting to look good.
Man, Innocence, that was like a quick draw there. Wild West gun showdown, and he pulls first. He gets off the Static Storm, catches the Lion off guard. Fly blinking in, but wasn't able to locate anyone with a Hex Impale combo.
That was some impressive, like you said, speed coming out from Innocence to be able to go that quickly against that hero. And the Lion is able to just kill him pretty much immediately. And now there's that Invoker's Aghanim Scepter coming out, and this is where it's going to get a little bit more interesting for both of these squads. Wings with the Aghanim Scepter on this hero obviously provides you a lot of different damage and utility in a team fight. Shadow continues to farm up. He's got his Yasha, casual Yasha, and the Diffuse Blade. We'll finish off that Manta probably eventually. Getting kind of low, but he'll be able to time walk up to the high ground.
You definitely want to get Manta if you're going Diffusal. It's just it dramatically amps up the amount of damage you put out in Chrono. And obviously, this team is all about bursting heroes during the Chronosphere. Man, you know, we don't talk about individual play that much for 5-position players. Normally, it's more about like the shot calling for the team, their ward placement, their movement and positioning. But those are some sick reactions by Innocence.
Yeah. I think a lot of the supports are playing pretty well this game, including Crit. Although Fly has died a couple of times to Innocence, now he has gotten his Blink Dagger very early on here, but now he has to follow it up, but still blinks away as Ice was in the vicinity. He waveformed up. Obviously, there was that Observer Ward on the high ground, which he couldn't counter. Fly is lucky to make it out alive here.
Bottom lane. We'll see a TP out.
Sketchy.
So Blink, as you mentioned, gets the Ags, BOTs, and Blink. Fitting, likely coming next, but mid lane there's the Lasso.
Force back, glimpse away, that's going to stop the Lasso. Here's Spike's there, Faith Beyond, fingered up, ensnared, see you later, they're looking for more. And Innocence does have that Static Storm, remember, so you have to be careful Still no more lasso. Waveform through. The Hex is up. There's going to be some damage coming up from Miracle. They've got the Mana Void. Static Storm off the mark this time. Flysteel will fall. They give the Chronosphere on the crit, but it's too far away coming up for the Void. And they, I think, have to give up Pursuit for Wings on this time.
Unfortunately, that's a very low-level Wex, so the Meteor does not travel all the way to the far end of the Chrono. It's only 1 point in it. OG. Pretty big trade for them as they do it while the wave's pushing Travis. They're going to be able to take this tower.
Yeah, they need this.
With Chrono down, and Static Storm down, I don't know if they go high ground, but they may consider Roshan.
The most they can do, especially without the Chronosphere, and especially without the Static Storm, but there still is a good team fight. I mean, you have to remember this Volker does have an Axe.
And Wings they're not having any of it. Look how quickly they chase.
They know Exorcism is down, and Crit is in trouble. Glimpse back, and he's got that song. He's going to have to use it, but he's getting bashed up, and he can't even get it off. The Constellation and everything just going against him.
That's the
so many bashes.
And they're looking for more here. They're going to find Miracle. He's stunned as well. The adaptive strike's got no catching him out, picking him off.
Oh, Miracle.
Not respecting the adaptive.
He walks into certain doom. I guess pun intended, because Faith Beyond uses it against the Anti-Mage in that particular fight.
This is, you can see Miracle's itemization here. He has grabbed an Ultimate Orb. I think likely it will be a Lincoln Sphere. They need a lot of counters to single target lockdown, be it the Doom, be it the Adaptive Strike, even the Glimpse. And, you know, you could consider BKB, which deals with some of those abilities, but you don't respect Wings' potential to kill you at any moment. They can, just because of the nature of their draft.
Oh, that just, well, sometimes you got to get the feeding out of the way early.
Certain Doom indeed. Well played, sir. Well played.
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh boy, that's not funny. That's not funny at all.
I thought it was great, but I like dad jokes.
Yeah, you know, there's a certain uniqueness to them, but anyways, No Tail is up top.
What's that supposed to mean?
No, I mean, it's fine. I mean, some people like him, some people don't.
What's wrong with dad jokes?
Dad jokes are fine now. Trust me.
Take that.
I'm with you.
Okay. You'd better be.
No Tail.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, so after that fight, the game resets. Looking like, let's say this goes super late, barring Naga transitioning to a Radiance, which does not seem to be the build, I definitely am more comfortable if I'm Wings having 4 scaling cores, the Doom, the Invoker, the Void, and the Morphling to some extent with that single player lockdown, but they want to make things happen now on the side of OG.
Lasso into Finger, but still Blink is up, ready to go. Firefly should burn him down with the Crypt Swarm, and actually misses, doesn't need to be there. Adaptive Strike coming out, it looks like there might be a Freight breaking out, although Innocent's not going for the Glimpse, not going for that Static Storm. He could have gone for an engagement, but he saw the Lotus Orb was up onto the Batrider and decided against it. I think he had vision regardless, and that'll be that.
And that's the big strength of the OG draft, right? They have the only vision dominator in the game, really, which is the Batrider. They also have the tower advantage for now. Dire Scan did clip Miracle Mott. They are smoking in hot pursuit. If they get either the Chrono or the Adaptive off on him, he is almost certainly dead. But now, swinging towards mid, they may not locate him. Instead, it might be Moon they find. Let's see. No,
they've seen all the way around, but there's a lot of heroes in the vicinity with the exception of Crit. Fly is probably the one to die here. Yeah, oh, what a Blink coming out now. It's him with that
Miracle, though.
There's the Adaptive Strike. He was trying to Blink out, and now he is done for 4.25 seconds. The silence is there, and Miracle will fall yet again. Innocent and Ice combining up to get more kills on this Anti-Mage. They found a way to deal with this critical hero. LD.
They see the Lion and they just ignore Fly, and he who expects the glimpse skank from behind? Like generally when the Disruptor is glimpsing you back, it's from his side of the map, but he came from behind, totally unexpected play. They're looking for more as they do find another glimpse. Just seems like it's going to slow down this push bottom lane. But Wings, top lane, Blink might get caught out here. No Tail creeping in.
The problem, Blink has died pretty much as many times as Miracle has.
It's a trap though, Crit. He senses that he wants to get out.
Ice is nearby alongside Fates Beyond. They're looking for a potential pick off of their own. The Super Ward's not there for the Dire team. Crit will TP home and he'll make it away. But now No Tail in trouble. The Acid Strike and Sunstrike on top. See you later. Gets blown up by that Sunstrike, and man, that's actually
No Tail's just sitting there like, I'm invis. I'm safe, but they cut the gem in the previous fight, so Crit's gem given away to Ice. A really well-placed hill ward. And
Ice is 3-0-11? Is he really? Wow, Ice is owning this game. This support Morphling is actually
And
so good.
So many of those kills have been on cores, especially the anti-mage. I think his most killed hero might be Miracle.
You're right.
Miracle's died 5 times.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure Morphley's been on every single one of those kills. Or at least 3 or 4 of them.
Well, 3-0 and 11, but 17 kills. That's pretty good kill involvement over the course of the game. So yeah, you're absolutely right. He has to be involved in those kills, and a lot of them he has been. So
Wings in that last engagement, they see Fly and the Naga running away all of a sudden, and they're like, why were these heroes even here in the first place? So they get suspicious, and then they just go and drop that hill ward with the gem. Find Big Daddy. That was impressive. I think they may have seen the invis getting picked up. Oh no, this ward just got placed, so yeah, just great game sense by Wings again as they move in bottom lane.
That's good. He looks back Moon, Deputy Flash, Meatball might push him out, doesn't even matter. Still dead as Faith Beyond and, Blink actually is the one to come up in combo, and that's finally a kill that probably feels pretty good for that Invoker as he's hit 17. He's got level 4 Invoke. He's got good, decent bit of course, he's got Max Exort and a good, decent bit of Wex going his way.
This game is really spiraling out of control for OG. Anti-Mage is 2k ahead of an Invoker who had a terrible laning stage.
Yeah.
Not to mention, it's a really rough AM game in general. He's been forced to go for a Lincoln Sphere, which, yes, is good against the Wings draft in some ways, but also limits his late game a lot, as Ice is going to find him to put Adaptive into a Replicate, into a Making Miracle Sad.
Song onto Shadow. They found the Faceless Void. I don't know if they can get there in time. Fly's ready, looking for an Earthspike. He's going to find the Hex first off. Now Shadow in trouble. Earthspike got reclaimed. Now he's going to be in trouble. The Faker will get the kill, but on the backside they're coming with Wing. And now the mech is going to come through. Miracle and Crit heading the through line and Fly. It's like he might be next LD.
Ice is like, I'm the carry here. No-Tail as he brings in his Replicate. Slaughters No-Tail with his own teammate, but they're looking for more innocence. The Glimmer Cape won't make it out though, and Faceon could be in trouble as well. Ice out of mana, but they do Miracle. They're going to force him back. He has the turn tail run, and Blink is left unchecked in the fight.
Moon, Sunstrike avoids it narrowly. Faith Beyond will go down. They were trying to get off what was, I think, an ensnare of some sort.
Anti-Mage is coming back.
Miracle's got Doom down. He's back up and ready to go. Blank has gone ahead and used his Ghost Walk. Ice, he's got no mana for the Adaptive Strike, and Miracle wants this kill. Blink's Ice is just down to the low stream, and it's gone now. Mana Void is on cooldown for 25 still. Miracle really wants this kill, but like Blink is still there.
They want that gem mod. This is huge if they can grab it.
Adaptive Strike doing nothing as the Lincoln Sphere blocks it, but they cannot chase down that speedy Morphling with the Eul Scepter and just generally good move speed to begin with. And Wings still, though, they lose a couple of critical heroes in that engagement.
That is why you write down the Aegis time. Yes. The second, like mid-fight, it expires as they're killing him off. So they get the Void kill. Totally different fight if Shadow's able to get Chrono off, but just very well timed by OG. And if your Wings there, got to be a little more careful when you know the Aegis is about to expire.
The net worth graph has been up to about 6,000 at its peak and has now been spiraling out of control, but now it's back up to 2,500 after that last fight, so that just shows you how important. And we'll see it again, and well, this good juke from Ice actually breaking Miracle's ankle to that point. However, back in the real game, OG is going to go ahead and smoke up and look for something here. They're going to scan, and it's going to be successful to see someone in the jungle. They don't have vision here, but we're about to see a fight break out pretty heavily, LD.
Yeah, the scan. They know Wings are in the neighborhood.
They're ready for the Firefly. Blink Lasso is up. Good Glimmer Cape. Innocent Snows. Dab with the strike. There's the Chrono. It's on to 2 and No-Tail. They have to use the song. Moon on the other side is in trouble and will fall. No-Tail does pop the BKB, but it is now immediately a 4 versus 5. They do miss on that Static Storm, but Shadow is stared up, still low. He's got mana left, time walked away. They've lost 2 already, LD. It's not looking great for the side of OG.
Yeah, there is no Doom right now, but it's cooling down fairly soon. Faith Beyond will have it in 20, and OG dying with the Exorcism going. They've got it back.
And they flip back on the side of Crit as well. 4 down. OG walk into a trap from Wings. They immediately lose Moon, and they try to fight to no avail as OG get crushed in that engagement, and there's going to be a 2,000, 3,000 net worth swing going the way of Wings this time around, and now it'll go back down. And the net worth graph is actually, for the first time in this game, in favor of Wings. This is getting to be dangerous territory for OG at this point, LD.
Well, after all the gem shenanigans, Crit says enough is enough. He has to buy another one, but that even further hampers the OG economy, which is already starting to suffer. So state of the game now is Anti-Mage not spiraling out of control. A lot of tools to deal with them. It's not like a solo Anti-Mage carry kind of game. but he will see Shadow top lane, trying to find a pickoff here.
Like it's going to be very close and will be a kill, as Shadow is just out of mana at the tail end. He couldn't time walk away, and Miracle finally finds himself a solo kill with the Basher. Meanwhile, on the other side, there's going to be a Blink Blast for BKB. Innocence is going to be next on the list and chops him down. The Firefly will burn him up, and it's a double kill for Miracle, who is not done yet. Looking for Faith Beyond. He'll blink himself away, and it has that Scorched Earth, giving him that movement speed. He will make it out, but still, Shadow doesn't end up falling in now.
They're setting up bottom.
It's at least found a kill, but yes, as you mentioned, Ice is looking for a potential pickoff down here.
If they run into the anti-mage one at a time, maybe it is. In a proper fight, they should have control for a bottom lane. They move it on to No-Tail.
Sunstrike with that damage, he's done, but here comes Miracle. He's looking for Ice, gets the first hit bash. Waveform is up at 3. Earth Spike misses on the Blink. They have to go for more playing.
Give me that gem.
And they're going to get it. Last strike click from Fly. His wet noodle auto attack will get it done. But still, it's a kill and a much needed one at that. They do have to trade No-Tail away for it, though, which is a bit of an issue.
Big kills for OG. Very evenly matched teams. Next Roshan is up, and I think for OG they would like to try and take that first slate of racks with this next stage. As they're running out of item slots on the anti-mage. He's going to get Abyssal Blade soon, and assuming he's carrying an Aegis, he's 6 slot at that point. He's pretty much done farming. Can get a Moon Shards, can get BOTs, but he runs out of room to scale. Death Prophet just seems like she's going to have trouble staying relevant in fights because she doesn't have a grave. In a swap, so when she gets chronoed, as the BKB duration gets lower, she just gets focused and blown up. So then it's the anti-mage you're relying on with a lineup that can deal with him in a vacuum quite well. So I think for OG, they're still the team a bit more on the timer. Unless they get an insane number of kills, they'll be looking for this next Roshan and then to take a lane of racks in the next 5 minutes or so.
This is still dangerous for both squads. There's almost an Abyssal Blade up for Miracle on the anti-mage. Meanwhile, it feels like Shadow has been stifled in terms of his net worth. I mean, look at him. He's up to 1,100, and that's where 11,000, and that's where he's been for a long time. I mean, the only thing he's gotten recently is an Ogre Club for what I imagine to be a BKB later on down the road, but him and Faith Beyond are at the same point now, and that just shows you that he's really struggled in terms of getting CS and farm. Been a tough game for this Faceless Void, and he's looking to turn it around now.
So Ice, it's the hybrid coming. Building the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
So who is he going to be hybriding this game?
Not sure. I'm going for Roche.
Probably the Void. You get the...
That's what I was thinking.
You get the double time dilation.
I can't think of another hero that's really important other than maybe the Invoker, but you can't invoke, so...
Yeah, I don't think the Invoker. I guess it must be, but wait, this is quite big for them. They're going to take the Roshan, they get the Aegis for Blink, and more importantly, it's one of those games where denying the Aegis to your opponent is more important than having it for yourself.
Absolutely.
It means OG likely won't be going high ground anytime soon. If they do, they'll have to find a good smoke to start that fight. So Wings buying themselves quite a bit of time with this.
And at the very least, potentially 5 minutes, and we'll wait and see if OG decide to push in to what is this Aegis now up on, I believe the Invoker. I was going to say, yeah, it's the Invoker, who's his Blink Dagger, Boots of Travel, and Link Sphere up now, so he's done very well in his farm.
Mana Void and Lasso are, and even Hex, like those are the 3 spells that will just ruin Blink in the team fight, so. For him, just like the AM, a really good Link game, but there's still ways to break it. Moon has a Force Staff.
As always. And not shocked.
They're looking for the backstab.
They're going to go in, Faith Beyond with Caught. They get off the corner, but it's only on to Fly at this point. They will have the Static Storm. There's going to be a Tornado as well. Miracle is in trouble. Definitely flat, taking a lot of damage. They're going to reset the fight with the Song of the Siren LD. Getting ready to go again with the Firefly up, and they're going to try to find somebody here.
Looks pretty good for OG. Can Wings find the damage? They do No-Tail, but it's after his Exorcism has gone off, and Miracle could be left free in the fight. He eats his way through the trees, gets to work.
Beyond now getting chopped down. They're looking for some more damage. He's got the Mana Void. Doesn't need it to get that kill. Looking for more. Shadow will bring down trade. 2-for-1 trade so far. Gem's on the deck. They have to go to work. Magic style pop. Out of mana? No. He's got enough time walk away. Miracle was so close to getting that kill. And Shadow now might get nothing. Strike blinks away. He ends up staying alive for only a moment longer. Still low. Moon
Blink has his Blink Dagger in a second. He's going to try to chase this, I think, but he's going to catch Miracle off. Oh, Moon's seen him.
Miracle's going back in. He goes for Blink. The Flame Break breaks to the high ground. They have vision. They don't have detection. He's burning away. And it's the Flame Break that actually gets done. And the Mana Void brings him down. That Faceless Void. Miracle coming back in.
They've lost 5 mod. They've lost the Aegis. They've got it back. That was everyone there. Actually, Ice made out, so they lost 4 in the end. But
they
still,
got the gem back too, I
losing
believe.
the Aegis. pretty damn good fight by OG overall, and it was just not the best chrono, unfortunately, for them that time.
Yeah.
If they get a better chrono, if they get a key target down like the Death Prophet or the AM, or even just getting the Naga so OG are deprived of their reset, I think Wings very convincingly win the fight, but it didn't happen there.
That's the thing, is the fight reset came in very quickly from Crit as soon as that chrono would come out, and they knew they were in kind of some trouble, and so Crit is able to keep this game alive and well fly. Speaking of alive, I don't think he'll be in that position for very much longer. He's going to get pretty much destroyed by Blink and Ice Ice. God.
He had Figure, but that was a very, very confident maneuver. Looks like he just wanted to drop a ward.
I think so, yeah.
Figuring Wings are just respawning. There's probably nobody here, but what's someone there?
This is a brawl. I mean, both teams, they're duking it out with everything they've got.
I think this is my favorite matchup right now in Dota 2.
Yeah.
Wings versus OG.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, the Grand Finals at Summit was amazing.
You can have your El Clasico. You guys can have your Na'Vi versus Alliance, but these teams, they pick very interestingly. They play each other well, and they also adapt to each other. Like, we saw that a lot in the BO5 at the Summit. I think if we see these teams play on the main stage at Key Arena, we're going to see some crazy adjustments over the course of a BO3 or even BO5.
I mean, you got to remember at Manila, we talked about it. They kind of beat themselves, when they were going up against Complexity. They lost in that series in that BO1. This was a team we had thought was going to go very far. With Wings now playing really well, they're looking good. But again, they did lose to TNC earlier on in this tournament. They lost 2-0.
That's the beauty of Wings. They are the ultimate Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You never know which Wings you're going to get. This is definitely Dr. Jekyll. This is the good Wings.
Yeah.
But TNC series, I think part of it is people aren't giving TNC enough credit. They are a legitimately good team.
To be sure.
And they also had a plan for Drought Ranger, which Wings picked 2 games in a row, had already shown coming into the tournament. So I don't read too much into that. But yeah, even if you account for that and kind of write that series off, Wings are definitely a very hot and cold team.
I think that's the biggest thing for me right now is that if Wings can get at least one of these games in this series and they can look good in doing so, then I feel very confident about their ability to get to the upper bracket at Key Arena. But we'll wait and see as there is some more items coming at the Heart of Thrask in particular is going to be the AM's next choice. And we have the BKB done for Shadow now. Anything else that was just picked up, it looks like No-Tail's been stuck on these items for a long time. There's no other items coming through just yet. And there's an Octarine done for Blink. So a couple big items here as the Aghanim Scepter is also done for Ice Ice. So Wings starting to find their footing in terms of farm here, LD.
They really need a better chrono in the next fight. That's going to be the important thing for Shadow. He does have a BKB. Still, though, there's the Lasso and there's the Abyssal Blade, so he can be burst
top tower is under attack
if he gets caught out. And part of the issue for Wings here is having lost their second gem, or rather not having any of the OG gems, I guess I should say. They don't have the best vision. They can't easily deward. So OG do have the map control advantage, and I want to point out Crit keeping the backup gem in his stash right now, not in the fountain.
He knows firsthand, and I'm sure Moon is telling you this. Moon's like, keep that in your stash, dude. Trust me, keep it in your stash.
Put it in your stash.
He might yell at him, honestly. And Moon knows, but there is chances that you could go and do something crazy. I mean, we've seen it before. But
Wings are every bit as crazy as Moon.
Absolutely, Faith Beyond. Have you seen him play Spirit Breaker? Let's be honest, that guy's nuts.
OG though, smoke up. They will move down the mid lane. Leading the charge is a very fat Miracle. 3,700 health with a Lincoln Sphere.
Look at this. Somebody sees everyone. He's going to force back, but then it's into the toe. The Figure comes out, and now the fight breaks up and away. No-Tail with the Spirit Siphon. Now in trouble. Shadow has the BKB. Song will go, but No-Tail's still in trouble. He's got another Spirit Siphon ready. Might be a good fight for Miracle if he wants to go back in.
Song is just countering the Chronospheres in these fights. Not sure Shadow was hitting, but nobody else was. They need more damage. They got to kill someone off. Who are they going to focus? They do get the Doom of Miracle, but he's so tanky with the heart.
Just got his heart, and now that looks like we cannot fight against that hero. We've lost Innocence. Bring down all the illusions nearby and deal with this creep wave. Wait for the Doom to go away, and I think look for a tier 2 tower. So Doom was expended, Chrono was expended, Song, Exorcism, Lasso, everything, man. Literally almost everything was expended in that fight.
With everything expended, Anti-Mage is going to be king in the fight.
Absolutely.
So that's where Wings likely want to be split pushing. The AM is far enough ahead that and Invoker's just not a good 1v1 matchup, that he will solo and easily pick off heroes and snowball in fights. You need the Chrono and/or Doom to deal with him, but having neither means Wings don't really want to be fighting head on. They want to be split pushing. They want to be waiting for their ultimate cooldowns. Crit is just not been getting caught in the Chronosphere, so every time that there's a Chrono, there's a Song to disengage, there's no Ags on the Void, so the Chrono cooldown is pretty long.
Wow.
Right.
Oh man, Moon went in there. They've got Chelsea, Pistol played. Mana Void, it's not enough, but now it is. The right clicks, no buyback coming in for Waves on the Faceless Void here, LG, and they're going to at least take the tier 2 tower for OG.
After such a good start, he just hasn't found a good Chrono in a while, and more importantly, keeps on getting picked off.
Yeah.
His farm progression has completely halted. He has gotten nothing since this BKB, only even gotten it off once. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage City at 31k net worth, well over double the Void.
And here's the problem, the AM hasn't died since getting that Lincoln Sphere. We talked about his early deaths. He had 5 deaths going his way at the beginning of the game. That was for Miracle. Since then, he's not died a single time. Maybe for 15 to 20 minutes, he's been deathless. He's just gone around killing people. That's really all he needs to do.
Honestly, he might not even need to save for buyback. Could probably just buy the Moon Shards now.
I think so.
And be totally fine. But
they have tier 2 towers up and ready. His respawn timer will probably be around 70 to 80 seconds though, so it might be a bit dangerous.
And now OG, they get a second Lincoln Sphere. So they've now got Song of the Siren, Glimmer Cape, double Lincolns, and a Lotus Orb.
If they go for Roche right now too, that would be critical, but I don't think they're going to check it again.
What they lack in defensive support spells and reliable saves, they make up for in items here.
Miracle, go in the pit, buddy. Check it out.
All things fall.
No, God.
I think they're looking for a pickoff first. They have Lasso ready to go.
Yeah, that's probably...
All the wing spells are up, so just walking into the Roshan pit and trying to take it is extremely risky, but if they can find someone, Mott, like they could now, this would be huge.
They've got Vision with Firefly. Somebody's dead. Face Beyond's going to get caught with the last, so BKB will go again. Miracle finds again another Abyssal, but a good Deafening Blast coming through. Face Beyond, good Chronosphere. They've gotten Fly, they've gotten Moon.
But that damn Song is ruining them. Face Beyond in trouble. Are they just going to back away? Anti-Mage is so strong right now.
Yeah, still full HP going to work and just trying to find any kills that he possibly can. He's looking for more. No tail duped up, however. Face Beyond finally about to get brought down. Mana Void's there, but plenty of mana actually. There's the Adaptive Strike, and now Miracle's kind of low. They've already lost No Tail, Death Perception, Miracle getting low on mana and HP. Waveform coming in, there's another Deafening Blast. They really are. Sunstrike, he actually gets hit by it close, and he finally will blink out. Meanwhile, Shadow's low, and he goes down to the finger fly.
They got him, but then they kill him.
Miracle is finally going to go down to the Waveform, and Moon is left all on his own with Crit. Adaptive Strike will find Fly as well. 3 dead. Wings only lose Shadow on that Faceless Void, and back and forth we go, LD. Another 4-hero kill.
Holy crap. Miracle spent like 20 seconds that fight being stunned or disabled. Deafening Blast constantly hitting him, Cold Snap, Adaptive Strike, Void Bash, then he runs and he gets glimpsed. Does he just need a BKB? Lincoln Sphere is really going to get some of these abilities, but there's so much single target control.
LD, he did just buy Moon Shard, and he doesn't have buyback.
Oh,
you actually cursed him.
I felt like he did, that he just couldn't die. Did you see the last fight? He was invincible.
I mean, listen, I agree with you, but you cursed him. It happened.
Oh no, OG. 4-2 in the group. A 2-0 here, and they are very confident. More importantly, they knocked down one of their biggest opponents, toughest battles, but Wings, they have 40 seconds, the power play to take at least one lane of Rax. There is no tier 2 down top or bottom though, Travis, so I think it's only one.
One lane of Rax it will be unless they want to try to finish this game, but No Tail might be in trouble. Has to go for the BKB, the Shiva's Guard replicate is there, and it actually looks like Wings are leaving, only getting the melee Rax, and if that is it, if that's all they get out of this, I feel like OG maybe have dodged a bit of a bullet, because a full set of Rax, although this range Rax is low, a full set of Rax would have been pretty detrimental to their chances in this game.
The other thing there is we're at a point now where they have the hybrid. So the other spell that we talked about earlier, worth reiterating, Time Dilation also ruins Anti-Mage because it keeps the blink on cooldown. So if you have the double Time Dilation in these fights, it's very difficult for him to
Did you see who he hybrided? I'm assuming it was the Void.
I'm
assuming it was the Void.
I'm assuming it. It should be the Void in general because he's got the most useful kit.
And speaking of useful kit, the Invoker now is a Refresher Orb picked up, so he has everything. He's level 24, just about to hit 25, max level, meaning he got everything to work with. All of his damage, ridiculous. The Sunstrike will scout out Roshan.
They're coming for it. Blink's on the move.
I don't think they can do this quickly enough. Blink will come in with their Tornado and stop this from happening a bit early on here. That Tornado is going to keep him up in the air for a bit of time. Miracle, Song of the Siren will go. They really just want to finish this off. Can they do it in time, LD? They're keeping him back, and they will get up the Aegis as well as Cheese. But it's on the ground. Moon's going to kill it. He kills it.
They've used Psalm and Exorcism. These are long cooldown still. Can Wings just go now? Like, screw your Aegis. You have no cooldowns.
They're trying to. Faith Beyond was looking for a target, but it was the Anti-Mage. And he couldn't do him on the outside.
Oh, they found the Death Prophet!
Yeah, no tail. He should have enough for buyback. BKB will go, and he does.
But there's a Chrono and a Doom. I don't know if he makes it out of here.
Good flank.
Close call. They're still hunting, though. Ice is coming in.
They have it. Yeah, he's going to go to work on the tower. Is that the Replicant or the Hybrid?
No, that's the Hybrid. And let's go down. Oh, no, sorry. That was the Replicant, actually. Yeah. Hard to keep track of. But Faithion goes in.
They're going to go for it. Fly already a bit low now. The Fireflies, the Plasma come through. They need like stops. I think they clipped him, and now they get the Chrono. On to 2, including Crit. No song for you, sir. But meanwhile, on the backside, Miracle going to work. Moon in trouble as well. Wait for him, and No Tail will fall. And it's up to Miracle now, LD, as he's pretty much alone here.
He's just going to be chased on the Adaptive comes out, and then the Meeple over the top. Everyone on OG going to buy back, but Shadow looking to kill off Moon. Oh, this boy's in deep, man.
He's in too deep. The silence comes through. He doesn't advance. He's got to diffuse off the silence, and he doesn't do it in time.
Oh, Shadow, that was way too far. Even before the buybacks, they had Miracle locked down. If the Void's there, I think they kill Miracle with ease.
They do have the Hex now. The Scythe of Ice is up for that Morphling, so they have even more lockdown, which is...
I mean, still for Wings, they just forced a double buyback, and they pushed OG all the way back to their base. So it's not that bad, but, man, they could have killed the Anti-Mage right there. At least gotten rid of the Aegis, but... Still, overall, I love Wings' shot calling and recognizing, sure, OG have Aegis, but they, more than the Aegis, they need Salt and Exorcism to be confident in taking fights.
Do you think AM needs a BKB at this point? Because that's kind of how it feels right now.
I just don't know what you get rid of. Like, you also need Linken's to deal with the Doom, as well as the Hex, the instant initiation.
Maybe he doesn't want boots. I doubt that's the case.
Perhaps you get rid of Heart for a BKB, because the Heart doesn't feel like it's doing all that much.
Maybe you pop the BKB, you have the Courier, you get the Heart back in. I think that's an important item. They're going to go for the push, though. There's buyback up and ready to go for 10 seconds anyways. The clip is still available.
OG going for
hybrid,
it.
I believe, for Ice. That should be the hybrid. It is.
One melee Rax advantage right now for Wings, but it's not over yet. Still, you can see how tentative this push is, and as soon as that Exorcism is close to being down, they are going to move.
One strike's gonna go, No Tail, will take some nice damage. Linken's Sphere pops for Miracle, so he has to be a bit more careful.
Innocence has a glimpse, just keep an eye for that Disruptor catching someone out.
Take the tier 3 tower down. I think they're happy with that, and they'll back away. Miracle's in the tree line. They might reset, fade out a team fight by just sitting by the tree line and letting them walk down the base themselves.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else Miracle can get rid of. Like, you need the Battle Fury to push out lanes. This is the stage of the game where push out lanes is your most important job as an Anti-Mage. And it's like Wings are wrapping around here. Smoked up, plunging towards the Radiant jungle. Are they going to find anyone? Shadow is scouted here, but he's just going to continue heading south. And now they swing north. OG have Crit in a great position, though, in the trees.
Tornado starts to fight off, will catch Fly and Fly alone. Song is already going to go, and they will catch up. Faith Beyond. Crit is almost blocked in. Finally will find a way out, looking for the Chronosphere, and he only finds Moon and Crit actually coming in. Crit will fall yet again. Song already down. He's just fought back. He's in trouble. No Tail trying to do the damage, but it's really up to Miracle. Again, he gets at least Deafening Flash and Static Storm. Miracle can't find a way out.
He's yet to hit anything. He's yet to hit a hero this fight. Can he finally go in now? Or will they just Adaptive, Time Dilate, and lock him down again?
Oh, good Mana Boy. They've got one. Can they get more? Greater and Snipe for Fly. They'll take down one. Faith Beyond in trouble as well. Miracle finds himself a double kill. They've got the Hex up, and there's that Adaptive Strike. And they can't fight him right now. They just can't do it now without the Void anyways, I don't believe.
Still, though, it's a 3 for 2 favoring Wings. OG have to get something out of this. And they do it. Fly has some vision in the dire jungle.
Nice. Coming in, Adaptive Strike is there. He uses his Euls to cancel the Linken Sphere.
I'm pretty convinced he needs a BKB.
Yeah, I mean, he got locked down so hard. They didn't even use the Hex until the end of the fight, and by that point, it was kind of already in dire straits. And keep losing OG heroes, but you know, as long as Miracle is alive, the fight is always alive. There's always a chance.
Fly does get scouted here, though.
He is dead. He's going to be the 4th dead.
And the Miracle now against the world. He's got an Aegis, but they have Doom. No, Doom on cooldown.
Tornado.
Nice Nephilim.
Anti-Style will go. Mana Void's back up in 8 seconds. There's going to be the bash. Missile Blade. That Deafening Blast is absolutely owning Miracle in these fights. You cannot Manta out of it. It is a very tough ability to deal with for him.
And it's double Deafening Blast at this point. So.
Right.
Yeah, that's... good news, I guess, for him is Invoker doesn't have any more item slots unless he wants to drop something, and all these are like core items.
He buys the BKB. His boots are still not there. He picks up a Haste Rune.
Yeah, I mean, he can also go bootsless with no Aegis. Not the Aegis is down, so that is
like that might be the case.
Option.
He's gonna be slow.
Like, no, he's got Haste Rune. He's fine. I'll just keep on picking up Haste Runes all game.
Actually, his move speed's 346 with the Manta style, so he's not that slow. Well, he's still pretty slow, but.
He's a lot slower when he's constantly chain stunned and time dilated and can't actually hit or move anyway. So.
I think you mean he's just literally...
Sure, this is like not moving or doing anything versus moving a bit slowly and hopefully doing something. It's a necessary pickup for Miracle. As weird as it looks, it is mandatory at this point.
And that BKB is so important in this game. And if he had someone else to help him out like No-Tail, it would just be great. Moon Blasters have been pretty on point, but No-Tail has just fallen so far behind, and everyone from Wings, with the exception, of course, of the Innocence Disruptor, has gotten so much farm. I don't know how Ice has picked up all of his materials to work with, but he's certainly gotten a lot. He even picks up a gem for himself and his team. Jesus.
I said a quad core. I don't know if I expected Ice to be out-farming the Void at this point, but that is the nature of the Wings draft. This is a lineup that scales extremely hard into late game. Anti-Mage maybe can solo anyone 1v1, even at this stage. I don't know that there's any hero that out 1v1s him, but in a full team fight, Wings have way more firepower. The biggest issue, again, is they don't have that save for Chrono. So a good Chrono is a one fight for Wings. So we've seen that at least 3 or 4 fights in a row.
Yes, that's true. And he hasn't hit a Chrono yet on, like, some of the more important heroes.
We haven't even seen like a 3-4 hero Chrono, but he doesn't need to hit one. And I like that Shadow of this game. He's not trying to hit the God Chrono. He's just trying to hit
a Chrono that at least gets his team to be involved. I mean, if he hits a Chrono where his team is caught by it, then he's in trouble. And so far, he's not. He's done that once with Faith Beyond, but that's it.
Wings just creeping in, very confident while that Aegis is down. It's going to be...
Some illusions, though, from Crit, scouting everything out from what Wings is doing. And they will, for the time being.
It'll be a little while before the Aegis here. At least 45 seconds, maybe up to 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I think Wings are the team that can use this much more effectively, though, because the most important hero in OG has no room for an Aegis right now. And if you get rid of any of your items as Miracle, I think it hurts you a lot in the fight. So, he's quite slot limited, whereas Wings have a Morphling who would just love to have an Aegis for probably an extra Hex in the fight, potentially getting off, 4 Adaptive Strikes, something along those lines. So, I think it's much bigger for Wings to get the Aegis, and for OG, it's almost more about denying it.
They were putting themselves in a position to try to ambush them from the high ground to the low ground here in this mid lane, and that's not going to be successful in happening. As OG are going to be sitting at their base right now. Miracle's 6,000 gold, obviously a lot of that being saved for buyback. He has 4,300 surplus. No-Tail. He's finally picked up another item since that BKB Lotus Orb and Blink. He's got now a plate mail for what will probably be a Shiva's. Could be an Assault Cuirass, but I think Shiva's is the more likely choice.
No-Tail's item progression is just so... Earlier in the game, this was a dual core. This is not a dual. This is a 4 Protect 1 now.
Yeah, it is.
Even though they have a Death Prophet is not a core. She can be blasted down by any combination of like 2 heroes on Wings. So
this is kind of why I liked when they were playing the other game. They had the Tiny, the No-Tail.
I mean, he could have had more farm. It's just he's died too much and gotten picked off too much, and that just goes back to the draft. But for me, more than anything, I don't think No-Tail's played terribly. He doesn't. When you see Death Prophet pick, there's usually an Oracle behind it. There's usually a Venge behind it, especially against a Void. There's normally a Dazzle, something defensive to help ensure the Death Prophet lives in fights. But because they don't have that hero, No-Tail is just left on an island. And to me, Naga doesn't really qualify, because when the Naga gets caught in the Chrono, she dies.
The hybrid was the disruptor. He actually glimpsed him and kinetic fielded him. It's just kind of funny that they put so much pressure on him just through a silly hybrid.
The hybrid is, I think, deceptively strong. We've seen it twice now over the last 2 days. In both games, it's had quite an impact.
Yeah,
we saw it in the OG series as well, right?
Yeah. Just the LGD, I think LGD did it. Blink. Lasso's not there. He's looking for BKB, but he is stunned up and is actually going to get caught out. But meanwhile, Miracle will at least find the kill on the Morphling. He's got buyback. They get the Chrono on the Moon. He's still in trouble. The Stun Strike will bring him down low. They get the Guardian Green, but now Faith Beyond. Trouble. The figure will come through. Deafening Blast. Miracle finally with his BKB going to work, and he's looking for a third. He doesn't have Vision of Innocence.
No
and he
TP
might
on Innocence.
be able to get out alive. He drops the ward down. Miracle should see him. Blinks in front. Good Force Staff. Gets stunned by the Bash. No-Tail is still doomed up, by the way, in Innocence. Crypt Swarm getting caught out by these spirits and will fall to them, and No-Tail finally survives
the in the base. Travis, rain tracks down, top lane being caved in. It is a one fight for OG. Their first convincingly one fight in some time, but will it translate into any objectives? By the time they can get to the Roche pit, I think most of Wings will be up or in position. And Miracle, no BOTs, he can't get there quickly. Gonna have to push out these lanes. Still, that was a really good fight for OG, and I mean, Moon kind of won that fight for them in a lot of ways. Like, he runs in, all 4 Wings here is like, great, 3 Batrider kills, but they lost their Morphling, and the Morphling is the biggest source of reliable lockdown on the anti-mage in the team fights. Between the Eul Scepter, the Scythe, and the Adaptive Strike, he has 3 single target, long duration disables, and he died instantly.
It's no surprise, and it's really, you know, not shocking that when Miracle uses his BKB for the first time, they win a fight. It doesn't surprise me in that situation. That's kind of how it was meant to be. And Wings are now looking to find
the 2 eyes, 2 gem strap, 1 gem for each, and then the 3-eyed Naga.
Roche is not falling quickly, even if Miracle is soloing in. He does a lot of damage, but it's not nearly enough to bring down this Roche that quickly. He doesn't have a butterfly, so it's not like he has that.
Oh, Shadow!
Wow, a blink away from Moon. Shadow actually just gets owned with that Chrono Spear, and they're still chasing him down. BKB looking for a blink blast, so they'll find it on Shadow. The matches are up. Can they bring him down? They've already lost one on the side of OG, but now it looks like Shadow will stay alive, and Miracle's still chasing after, but the BKB slowly falling soon, and now Miracle's BKB is gone, LD.
Ice has to keep this anti-mage locked down. He's still got a Linkage and a Lotus, though. He hexes himself!
Oh no, Miracle now has got the Lotus Orb up, and they've got the chase going through, but he gets caught with a Static Storm and a Kinetic Field, and again the lockdown remains and continues for OG, but Miracle blinks ahead, looking for more damage. Abyssal Blade back up.
He's got to be careful though. Ice is just behind, the Hex is pulling down soon.
Wait for him, breaks Blanket Spear, Ice fast up, not there, not yet. Now Shadow backing away, still low in HP. Firefly away, Moon in trouble. No last up, they're going to Abyssal up at the Faith Beyond. They just don't have the damage. The Doom will come out, Miracle.
He actually adapted an illusion there, and I think they're still going to kill him on.
Miracle's going to fall, dead for 99. He just doesn't have the damage. Wings are too tanky.
And they're looking for more No-Tail. Big Daddy, could he save the day? This is such an underformed Death Prophet.
With the damage coming out with that exorcism going to work on Faith Beyond. The silence is there. Faith Beyond with the Scorcher coming back in with the Shiva's Guard, and No-Tail will fall as Shadow comes in with a right click.
And creeps are marching in mid. There is buyback on the anti-mage. They do have a Song of the Siren, but will it matter? Exorcism on cooldown. It's... Again, Wings, they don't even have to execute the fight that well to win it. They got caught out there. They whipped the Chrono. They still win the fight. He even Adaptive Strike an illusion for Miracle. Like, it was not perfect execution by Wings, but they just have too much control. It's too much for Miracle on his shoulders, and he feels like he has no choice.
Yeah, he has to go for it, and I do not blame him. You saw in that fight, he was not dealing the damage he needed to deal in order to bring those heroes down. Gone are the times where the mana burn and your right-click damage are going to be enough to kill these heroes with a good mana void. He needs more right-click. He will even have buyback after purchasing the Rapier, which I believe is on the Courier, and in fact, it is. No-Tail still down for 35 seconds with no buyback, and guess who's pushing bottom? It's Wings and Faith Beyond. They have the Aegis. Who's it on? It's going to be on Ice, one of the most important heroes. Cheese on Innocence.
I think this is actually their most important hero, the Morphling. Even though he's not the most farmed and isn't their damage dealer, he is single-handedly making Anti-Mage not a hero when the BKB's on cooldown, so... Speaking of Miracle, I was going to ask, what does he get rid of? He drops the Linkage Spear into his stash.
I mean, with the BKB, if it's used...
He can still be doofed, and he can still be chronoed.
Yes.
So I mean, granted, Linkage won't help you against the chrono either, but he's still got to be really careful. That was also a fight where they Lotus Orbed the Hex, so the Morphling hexed himself. Like, It really wasn't that smooth from Wings, but they just have so much crowd.
They have other Lincoln Spheres to put on him now with Moon having one.
Yeah, they had. I think they threw the extra Lincolns and the Lotus Orb on him, and then the Morphling tried to adapt or tried to hex him and ended up hexing himself. Wings move forward. They have a Butterfly in the void now. He's starting to hit hard. Hey, can Miracle get an MKB? You know, no, not really. He's out of item slots, so this is a big pickup against a heavy right-click hero.
I mean, you have to hope that you just get some good auto attacks, and with your Rapier, you do more than enough damage, and it's going to be close. I mean, at this point, it's so tough, but...
If you're Wings right now, you want to slow the game down a little bit. Push in all 3 lanes. You have the Aegis advantage.
Make sure you have buyback.
You have Boots of Travel on 2 of your core heroes. Ensure you have buyback. They don't need to hurry. They've got, 3 minutes here to work with in the Aegis?
So, yeah.
So I think you push in all the lanes, and then you go for 1 siege of the base, or at the very least, look for a pick-off. They should be able to win a fight if they execute correctly. Just have to be cautious about the buybacks.
Shadow is getting there, and everyone else has it. I mean, if Innocence goes down, he won't, but he's going to be the only one at some point in time. And Shadow is now 70 gold away from buyback at this point and continues to get even closer. By the time he gets up to the high ground here, he should be able to... Oh, look at this. No, that's the hybrid, actually. Yeah. Time locked up. I think they think it's the real one.
Oh, they're trying to bait with it. Gets mono-trained, though.
Yeah, that was easy. EMP will come out and dodge swiftly by the rest of the squad again. They've lost that mid-rack.
This Alacrity Catapult is doing a lot of work, though.
Yeah, we saw that. We got
Holy crap,
it
almost killed the tower
yesterday, and it did something similar, I think, to Alliance.
Hero Catapult right there.
Remember.
Wings don't have to rush it. If they want, they can wait a bit longer. Mid lane, we see the Morphling again doing the heavy lifting here. His hybrid, or actually that might have been the... Whatever it was. Oh yeah, it was the hybrid pushing in the mid lane. So mid lane pushed in, top lane getting close to the river. Wings could go for a jump here. Have to be cautious about the Psalm and the buybacks though. Those are the 2 things that can really cost you. And also, Batrider can drag heroes into the fountain, so or towards the fountain. So positioning will be important.
Time locked in, that's from the Replicate or the Hybrid. They even mana drain it. The Sunstrike on the crit will do some nice damage. Needs to regen himself up and off to head back to the well for the time being. And Alacrity from the Forge Spirit's going to work on this Rax, and this is very dangerous. There's a cheese in the ground. It's going to be picked up by the Courier, and actually I think they're trying to save them for Shadow or someone. I think Ice probably when he loses the Aegis, which is a possibility.
Jump in! He got Miracle!
He did, but they have to swing out of it. Now the Psalm comes through, and Shadow still has that BKB. It's about to go down, and they will lose Moon, though. No buyback coming in. The Earthquake coming out. Shadow sounds Static Storm do want the Miracle as well. And the Rapier might not help him in this fight, LP. He's falling, and he's dead. He buys back, but no Rapier. Can he get there in time and pick up by Faith Beyond? Shadow now getting caught out. No mana. He's going to get Mana Void. He'll get caught, and he'll fall. So he'll at least get a kill there.
Now on Faith Beyond the Doom. Not really the best right-clicker, but they're looking for a bit more. No-tail on the chase. Wings are going to back away. They forced out a double core buyback on OG. They did not get the ranged Rex, but now Wings have a pretty big window where 1 kill on Miracle will seal the game, and they just got a lot more net worth with that kill.
Miracle, even with BKB, gets zoomed up. He static stormed, and there's nothing he can do right now at this point. I mean, he can't win this game on his own.
By the way, I'm just watching this Doom plot around at 290 move speed. That big sword feels very symbolically appropriate as he now wields the rapier.
I mean, I don't know what he's
any rapier. It's Miracles.
I don't know what he's getting. Maybe get the Alpha Wolf. I think. Oh, he already has it, so he's doing plenty of damage.
This Doom is scary now. You don't want to focus Doom.
Build attack speed. All right, time to build to attack speed, my friend.
Doom is not the hero you want to be focusing in these fights.
No.
Even it's a lot of games like, oh, we could get our rapier back, but who's really going to use the rapier effectively? I guess Miracle, but even then he's still dropping an important item anyway. So Doom likely gets ignored in fights. Blink is priority number 1 on the Invoker / the Morphling, perhaps. Ice maybe being a slightly easier kill, which means we might see some big Doom crits in the next fight.
What is it with us in long games, man? I feel like we get a lot of them. Not that I'm complaining. These are amazing games that we're seeing so far at TI. I mean, this is the beginning of the group stages. It's day 2.
67 minutes in. Only game 1. And no matter how this game goes, I'm just going to wish it was a best of 3.
Yes.
No matter what.
Yes.
I'm going to be disappointed if OG don't take game 2 and leave us wanting that game 3, because right now this one does look like it's Wings to lose. Yeah, not entirely over yet. Miracle blinking in though. Remember, he's got no buyback, and they're on the hunt.
Adaptive Strike, he dodges it, but he's still gonna have to pop that BKB. Good man to dodge with the Adaptive Strike coming through. Still, Ice looking for Hex in 18 seconds or an Adaptive Strike sooner than later.
He can wave and then go into an Adaptive.
He's got the Doom ready. Song of the Siren will go though, and the BKB behind. He's gotten getting snared as well, but most of these heroes are avoiding the Song right now. Blink does walk into it, and now it's gone. Song on cooldown for 50 seconds.
And the creep wave is here. There's no BKB on AM. They could just push.
How long does he have
I don't think BKB? They could stop this.
They've lost the range racks now, and the Replicant's taken out. Moon misses the lasso. The Lincoln Sphere. The lasso was used on the Lincoln Sphere. Now Miracle Hex the Floating Storm is going, and Moon's in trouble. Great Static Storm coming out. The Deafening Blast is there as well. Ice will finally get her spiked up, and he's still got that cheese. Now they've lost two. No buyback on No Tail. This might be an LG.
Story of this game is Miracle getting smacked around like a volleyball. He just hasn't been able to hit anything, and it will end the way it's gone for 30 plus minutes with an anti-mage with all the gold in the world, unable to use it to effective purpose. This was a bit scary for Wings. There was definitely a window where I think OG could have taken it, but to me, the big thing that really hurt them was not having a way to keep Death Prophet alive in fights. The draft was supposed to be a dual core draft, but they just didn't have the tools to keep Death Prophet alive through the mid game, so it turned into a 4 Protect 1. You're not going to win 4 Protect 1 when you have no way to counter Chrono, you have no real easy way to counter Doom, let alone